Yeah, I finally got down to the beach and played a little bit of volleyball. Next thing I know, some lady hits me upside the head. I said, "Lady, what's wrong?" I said, "Oh, I thought you were the volleyball." Oh, hi, good morning, everybody. Can't win being a bald guy. Can't even play volleyball anymore. Good morning. Chef Chris, executive chef of Papa Kona. Hashtag beat my background. Happy Wednesday to you all. I wore Wednesday white today. I think I look about 700 pounds thinner in white, but that's a good thing. We're going to start a new little thing this week. I'm going to actually do a sequence of classes for you guys. We're going to do Greek week. It's going to be a half a Greek week, but I'm going to do several dishes from Greek cuisine that we're going to actually be putting on our to-go menu and our takeout menu here at Papa Kona. So this is going to be one of those takeout availabilities. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to actually be doing something with phyllo dough. Phyllo dough. Phyllo is going to be the star of the show today. So you can get this at most markets, okay? Now this is much different than puff pastry, okay? Don't conflate the two. They're much, much different and much trickier to work with. Phyllo dough is very, very finicky to work with because it will actually dry out very, very fast. So I'm actually just going to take it out of its container right now, and I'm going to leave it wrapped up, okay? See how it comes? It comes in a nice cylinder, but this is all folded into sheets. But I'm just going to put this on the side right now for now and introduce a couple of the other stars to you for today. So I've got some feta cheese here, okay? And this is going to be for the Spanakopita, which is one of the dishes we're going to do, Spanakopita. Some people say Spanakopita, Spanakopita, whatever it is, don't worry about it. Spanakopita. That's fine. So Spanakopita actually is made with chopped spinach. So I got the, I'm sorry to do a plug, bird's eye. And the reason why I got the bird's eye is because there's actually a really, really great documentary on either Hulu or Netflix. I can't even remember. I'm watching so much of it. On the food that built America. And Clarence Birdseye actually has quite an interesting story. Very, very interesting story, how he came up with the whole process of freeze-drying food. So what I'm going to do with this, guys, to make my Spanakopita, I'm going to do my Spanakopita first. What I'm going to do is, I've got my chinois here. You guys have all been introduced to that in the past. I've got my chinois right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open up this spinach. And what you'll find is it's actually quite moist. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm just going to put this right into my chinois. Okay? So the reason why I'm doing this, guys, is I don't want to have a whole lot of this extra liquid inside of my phyllo wrap. Okay? See how much liquid's in there? That's quite a bit of liquid. That would actually make a very, very soggy from the inside Spanakopita, and I don't want soggy. Soggy is not what we're shooting for. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get this done. It's all taken out as much as you can. You can squeeze it. You can squeeze it to death if you want. Just grab it in your hand and just squeeze it all out. Okay? That's fine. That's perfect. Okay? So I can actually just leave this right here. Take that to the side. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to put my spinach right here in this bowl. I'm not going to use all of it right now. I'm going to kind of judge. So I've got about a half a cup of spinach there. And I got about a half a cup of feta cheese. Now Greek cuisine, very similar to the French and the Italians. Very simple. Simple stuff. Not a lot of ingredients, not a whole lot to it. Okay, just very, very straightforward and simple. So I'm going to just take a little bit of this garlic. I'm going to take about a half a teaspoon of garlic. Just add it in here. A little bit of garlic love. And I have a little bit of allspice blend. This is actually kind of a seasoned salt, if you will. You can get that Lowry seasoned salt. I want a little bit of saltiness along with the feta. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to merely just mix that up. And just like that, I have a nice Spanakopita filling, okay? Now, feta is normally the cheese that you would use for this because it is more of a Greek cheese. You can use a Any other kind of cheese you want for this, again, guys, I want you to think more along the lines of technique. What the technique today is that I want you guys to get is how to work with phyllo dough, because it can be very, very frustrating if you don't handle it right. So I'm going to show you some proper handling techniques. So just like that, my Spanakopita filling is done. So what you can do here, guys, is take a look at the ratio of spinach to feta. Now, part of my non-measurement, and more, I'm looking at a ratio here, guys. So it appears to me that the spinach is a little bit more dominant than the cheese. I like mine a little bit more spinach dominant. If you like yours a little bit more cheese dominant, then guess what? Add some more cheese. Add some cheese, all right? Rules are made to be broken, guys. That's what I keep wanting to tell you. So let's go ahead and start our baklava. I actually have here a couple of different herbs as well that I want to show you guys. This one's dry oregano, okay? Dry oregano right here. So very strong flavor. I'm going to give that a little pinch of oregano right in there too. And this one here happens to be fresh oregano, okay? So I'm gonna put in just a couple of these leaves of fresh oregano too. Why not? So I got that. I'm gonna just go ahead and just gonna break it up right in my hand. Serious gourmet right there. This is a very, very classic French cutting technique. This is le finger cut. No, just kidding. Just making it up as I go along, guys. Okay, let's put that off to the side. And I want to get my station a little bit clean down here. I've already sterilized my station. I did it much earlier than class started. So we're going to go turn our attention to, before we do that, let's turn our attention to our baklava filling. Okay, very simple. I'm going to go ahead and turn on my pan. I'm going to start, I've got about a half a cup of water. Put that in there. And I got about a half a cup of sugar right in there. I'm going to start heating up that sugar into the water. Okay? I want to dissolve that sugar down, because what I'm doing is I'm going to make a honey sauce right here. Second star of the show, honey. And then I have some cinnamon. And then I have some cinnamon sugar. And again, I'm big on ratios, guys. My ratio here is about 50-50. 50% cinnamon to 50% sugar. When you look at it, you can see the sugar crystals versus the brown of the cinnamon flakes, yeah? So the other last star. So traditional for baklava is a walnut or one of those type of nuts. So I'm in Hawaii, so why would I use those when I've got beautiful macadamia nuts? So our twist on the Mediterranean to make it aloha is going to be a mac nut. So we're going to make a mac nut baklava, okay? Mac nut baklava. So this is very, very simple, guys. Super simple. So I'm going to go ahead and add in about a half a cup of my cinnamon sugar, okay? It's very cinnamon-y. This is very cinnamon. I can't say that word. Cinnamon-y. Has a lot of cinnamon in it, you know. I'm going to add about a cup of that honey right in there. Okay? So again, this is part of that cooking, guys, where so far I've got good, 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 and good. I got three goods. I got sugar, I got honey, I got cinnamon. Water. Water doesn't bring anything to the table. But I've got three goods in there. It's not going to make a left turn and be bad, right? So I'm going to go ahead and take some of my mac nuts and put them right in there. I want to get those mac nuts swimming in that sauce, okay, and get that rolling. Basically want those flavors to be infused. And I kind of want all that cinnamon to kind of start sucking into the mac nuts a little bit, okay? All right, that's great. That's all done. We're rolling. We are rolling. I'm going to hit it with one last little thing. This is vanilla. I've got about a teaspoon of vanilla. Very little bit, just a scant amount of vanilla. Again, guys, what are we going to do to this before we even use it? We are going to taste it for sure. So what you may be wondering what I have here is I actually have sterile. I made a couple of wet, moist towels, okay, moist, wet towels, because this is kind of going to be the key to working with your phyllo dough today, guys. This can actually go bye-bye. Oregano, bye-bye. I'm going to give a little salt and pepper to our feta mix as well. Why not? Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay that out like that. Now, making baklava, there's several different ways you can take. There's several different routes you can take. I'm going to do a route that's more of an individual serving of baklava. I'm going to actually use my handy dandy little silicone machine here. Okay. I'm going to build it in a cup form. You could also do it a layer. So normally what you would do is a layer of phyllo, some butter, layer phyllo, some butter, layer phyllo, some butter, layer phyllo. About 8 layers, okay? Then you take some of that sauce mix over here, and then you put a little bit of the sauce, or you put a little bit of the nut mix. Then you start another layer, butter, 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 layer, and then you do another layer of the nuts, and then about 6 or 7 layers on top. So it's more of a layered pie, if you will, and then it's cut into diamonds. Okay, that's one way to do it. Again, guys, if you were to Google baklava recipes, you'll find hundreds of thousands of baklava recipes. The key to it, guys, the key to this class isn't about what I just put in that pan. The key to it is how you handle your phyllo dough. Okay, phyllo dough. So I'm going to just unravel it. I could get all this stuff out of the way right now. So all go bye-bye. I need as much room as possible. Great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unfurl this. Now, it's very, very delicate too. It's a very delicate dough. You can't manhandle it. You got to be gentle with it. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take a couple of these off. Okay? Take a couple of these off. I'm just going to fold it over. That feels like enough. I'm going to put it right here on the moist towel. I'm going to go ahead and roll this back up and preserve it. Okay? What I'll do real quick though, so you can see, I'm going to go ahead and pull this off, this piece here, and I'm just going to let it sit right here, and you're going to see what happens. See how malleable it is right now? Okay? Very pliable, very flexible. Okay? Watch what happens as it sits there. Now, so if you notice, I put this right here onto this wet towel to keep the moisture in. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring it right over here to my cutting board. And I'm going to start building my little phyllo doughs, Spanakopitas. Okay? I'm going to just use one sheet. I'm going to leave this one over here. Notice how I just put it underneath that towel, right? So, what I like to do when I'm doing this is, some of you out there may remember, might become popular right now with kids at the house. You might want to look it up, how to make a paper triangle football. I know some of you older people out there remember kicking the little football, and it's a little triangle, okay? So this is just like making the little paper footballs. I can hear all the older people out there hearing what I'm saying. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of this mixture here. Take a little bit of this mixture, and I'm just going to put it right here, right in the center, like so. Okay? Easy. Go ahead and I'm going to move it down just a little bit more towards here. I'm just going to take it and I'm going to triangle it over. You see that? I made a triangle. One more triangle this way. One more triangle this way. And now I want to seal that last little part, and now it's all sealed. Go ahead and cut it. And there is a nice little Spanakopita packet. Okay? See that? Pretty simple. Okay? What I'm going to do is I'm just going to get these set up over here. Okay? I don't think I can use that piece again. So I'm going to grab a little bit more. Got to be careful that this, see how this stayed nice and moist? Okay, really moist. I'm going to go ahead and fold it up one more time. This gives me some layering. I'll go ahead and get rid of this. We'll watch this one dry out too. I'll go ahead and do 2. So again, dough goes down. Fold your triangle over, first triangle. Squeeze it all in there. And then one last final one. See that? So this was the paper football that you would play with. You'd actually kick it along the table. Good stuff. So what I have here, guys, I have a little clarified butter. I'm just going to douse it in clarified butter. If you want to get wild, you could have buttered this before you even put your spinach mixture in there, right? Very, very simple. That's great. So those are ready to go. I'm kind of thinking on the fly. So I'm going to just pop those into a 400-degree oven until they're golden brown. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and take one more piece, and then we're going to jump to our baklava, and we're going to build our baklava. So today, one of the things that we're going to be doing, guys, is we're going to actually be filming this in 2 parts. So I'm going to do the baklava and the Spanakopita today, and then I'm going to make you guys come back and visit me on Friday. And let's see if we can't get the views up to 1,000. We're rolling on getting up there, which is great. Thank you for that. Thanks for watching. So I'm going to go ahead and take this little bit of extra dough that I had, and I'm going to go ahead and just start putting it right in here into my cup. I'm going to start to make a baklava cup. Very simple. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and get me just a few more of these phyllo doughs. And again, guys, please don't underestimate how difficult this is to work with, okay? It can be frustrating. So what I'm going to do is I'm looking at how big my little holes are, so I'm going to actually just cut a square of this off. Just like this. A nice square. So now I have kind of a whole stack of phyllo dough. See that? Got a whole stack. See how I fan them out? That's great. That's kind of what I'm looking for. If I need more, I'll get some more. So what I'm going to do, guys, roll that back up. I'm going to go ahead and keep it under the towel, just to keep it moist. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start to build these little cups. Okay? Take a look now in just that little bit of time how this is. See that? That's what happens to phyllo dough. So you're not going to roll too much when your dough becomes like that, yeah? Okay? So that's why you got to keep it moist. It's so critical, okay? So critical. That was literally less than 5 minutes, I believe, that it actually got like that. I got to turn my attention over here. Let's get a couple of these bad boys in. Just like so. I'll do 3. You know me, I do things in 3s. Okay. Okay. Got that in there. I'm going to hit it with a little butter. Why not? A little butter up on the edges. A little bit soaked down into the center. Why not? Who cares? Go for it. Again, this is one of those great dishes utilizing products that you have near you. So I'm going to take a spoonful of this. Oh yeah, nice nut mixture, and just pop it right into each one like so. And again, guys, if you look up recipes, you'll see hundreds of thousands of different iterations of this. More so than anything, I can't tell you enough. This is not about that. It's about how to work with the phyllo dough, guys. How to work with phyllo dough. I'm going to go ahead and tuck some of these up and under. My sides, I don't want it to touch the sides of my little Suzy Easy Bake oven there. I'm going to go with that. I'll go ahead with this. It's a beautiful day here in Kona. About 83 degrees. Getting a little bit hotter. Might even be up to about 84 now. Waves, not bad today. About 4 to 6 again. Those of you surfers out there, getting ready to get out and surf again. You notice how I'm not really too concerned with how it looks in there, how it's going in there. Just getting all these good ones in there, yeah? I'll go ahead and do 3 layers of this. That way when you bite into this, you've got so much happening. Okay, I'll hit it with a little bit more of this butter, okay? Okay. A little bit more phyllo. I'm going to do one more layer. So back to my phyllo. I'll just take another little square off. Great. Phyllo's, it is fun to work with though. I must say it is. Once you get past the frustration, normally you'll end up ruining about 2 or 3 boxes before you really get the hang of it and you understand. Some people will try and risk it. Oh, it's not gonna get firm on me. I'm gonna go fast or yada yada yada. And next thing you know, it dries up on you super quick. Now, how many layers you might be seeing? I'm putting about 2 layers per sequence here, and I'm just stuffing it in there. Okay, I'm just stuffing it in there. Doesn't have to look pretty right now because it's going to be golden brown and delicious. It's going to be golden brown and delicious. I'm going to go ahead and make this be the last layer. Oh man, that looks so good. I want that last layer just to cook through. Oh yeah. If I want to get a little bit more juice to it, go ahead and put a little bit more juice. So some recipes you'll see will actually call for you to add your sauce after you bake it with the nuts. I'm not of that school of thought. I like to actually bake all my sugars in there with everything. I like that. I like it in that respect. Let me go ahead and fold these edges up a little bit. And least but not last, more butter. More butter. Okay, more butter. Okay, so these are going to go into the easy bake oven and we're going to let those cook. So, this is part 1 of Greek Week. Soon to be on one of the Papakona takeout menus. So, what we're going to do is we're going to sign off now and we're going to say Haoli Ikau Papaina, which is Bon Appetit in Hawaiian. And we'll see you on Friday and I'm going to finish this dish. We're going to bring this all together. We're going to do a beautiful chicken, a Slovaki chicken, which is a garlic, lemon, oregano chicken. And we're going to make some tzatziki, which is the yogurt cucumber sauce to go with this. We're going to tie the whole room together and we're going to make it a beautiful Greek feast, okay? This is Greek feast in paradise, okay? So please, again, tune in Chef Chris on Friday at 10 a.m. and we'll finish this beautiful Greek feast, okay? Mahalo.